Thanks, Brandis. Earlier in the program, we discussed Chicago's pervasive violence, and now we're joined again by Alderpeople Gilbert Villegas, Pat Dowell, Chris Taliaferro, and Michelle Smith. I want to pick up with some of our discussion on crime. Alderman Taliaferro, the ShotSpotter technology came up in hearings last week. It's been really controversial. The police department says that it is accurate in depicting gunshots being fired and then deploying police officers, but the Inspector General is saying it mostly fires blanks, meaning false alarms. Should that contract, very expensive contract, be renewed?
Well, I think we should have public discourse on whether or not it should be renewed. I know we are extended for another 2 years, but I look forward to on November 12th hearing in the Public Safety Committee that will talk about the details of MacArthur's report as well as the Inspector General's report, and leave it up to the public and my colleagues to determine whether or not.
Do you think it's been effective?
I think it is effective. I think, you know, one of the things of the MacArthur's report that I'm not going to say it's false reporting, but look, if there's shooting on the, or at least if the ShotSpotter system or technology detects a shot and there's no casing, that does not mean that the shots did not occur, nor is a police report required. So I think it'll be good for us as a council to get a better understanding of what the police response is and whether or not reports are done, because many of my colleagues don't understand or don't know the procedure when it comes down to responding shots fired. But
certainly disagreement on the effectiveness of ShotSpotter. And Alderman Villegas, another thing that was brought up was the controversial gang database, which the mayor in her campaign vowed to scrap and redo. We still haven't seen a new database or what that would look like. Have you seen anything that would be a new database and getting rid of the old one?
No, I have. First, I heard of it of a new model was at the CPD hearings, Chicago Police Department hearings, where they talked about a new program they're going to be rolling out. But again, they're still going off the existing, using the same intel and information. So I think they need to hurry up and get this done.
And Alderwoman Dowell, what should a new gang database look like? And the problem here is that people are on here, they don't have civil rights to appeal, they don't understand in some cases why they're on here, or maybe something happened 50 years ago, so it's not very accurate. What needs to change?
Well, one thing I know that has changed, I read today that the police board has been given the powers to handle appeals that people may have with the database. I understand that the name of the gang database has changed, but the fact is that there are people that are on that database that should not be there, and they need to have an opportunity, one, to understand why they're there, and two, to appeal their placement on that gang database. So, you know, I can't tell you what it should include, but I can tell you what it should not include, and that is people who have no affiliation with crime, who were placed there because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, false names, all of that needs to be looked at, and the police board is providing an opportunity for individuals to appeal.
So some developments there, and the issue here is people, if they're on that database, they have trouble finding jobs, they even have trouble finding places to live in some cases. Alderwoman Smith, it's the Inspector General that kind of brought these things up last week. He is stepping down. Has the mayor slow-walked the process to replace him? Because it doesn't look like there is a replacement at this point. He's stepping down next week, or at the end of this week.
No, the ordinance calls for a selection committee to be picked. And City Council picked 2 people at our last City Council meeting, and the mayor picked her 3, and the process is happening. So I think we're sort of right on track. The law says that within 2 weeks of his departure, a search committee has to be named to help in that selection.
So you're saying that committee is already named. So in the interim,
yes.
who's gonna take charge in that office?
My understanding is the mayor is going to appoint an acting from someone who already is working inside the Inspector General's office, very similar to what is done in a lot of our commissions when someone leaves and there's an
Would that be the
There's
deputy
almost-
IG for police, Deborah Witzberg? She's sort of been the number 2 in there.
Well, I don't know, but there are, direct, Joe Ferguson has direct reports, and I suspect the mayor is going to select someone from among those direct reports.
All right.
Close.
All right. On another subject, Alderman Villegas, I don't know whether you're a Bears fan or not, but it does look like Arlington Heights, the odds are in their favor to land the Bears in a new stadium. Is there something City Council should consider in terms of giving away land or a favorable deal on land to entice the Bears to stay?
Well, to answer your first question, absolutely, I'm a Bears fan, a lifelong Bears fan. And I take a look at the property that's located along the lakefront in the 7th and 10th Ward as an area, unless there's something that's developing there, as something that might be enticing. It's right along the lake. It would really spur economic development on the south side of the city. We definitely have to try to do something, but the reality is that we're not going to give away the farm just to keep the Bears. This is the 3rd largest market. If the Bears do move, then we'll have to see if there's an appetite to get another sports franchise in here. But the Bears, there's been a lot of negotiations. I think that the Bear leadership called the administration's bluff, and this is where we're at right now.
Alderwoman Dowell, is there some land in the 3rd Ward that would be good for a Bears stadium and to possibly spur on economic development?
I can't think of any place in the 3rd Ward where a new Bears stadium could be built.
Or should it anywhere on the south side or in vacant land the city
Well, I mean,
has?
I think Alderman Villegas raises some good points. I mean, I'm sure there's some places on the far south side or even on the west side where a new stadium could be located. But the reality is that, this is not like in the 80s when we were looking at helping the Bears out. We have to be very thoughtful about the types of financial assistance, city assistance that we can give. Times have changed, money is tight, and we need to be very thoughtful about how we do this. We should expect that the Bears should kick in something. The National Football League, which has made millions and millions of dollars, should also be called upon to assist in this effort. So I think we're a long way from deciding a location. Let's see if we can get the elements or the parameters of a deal put on paper.
No, that'd be interesting to see if there is a possible deal to be had. And as the mayor said, let's see if the Bears can beat Green Bay, because this, of course, is Packers week. And our thanks to City Council members Gilbert Villegas, Pat Dowell, Chris Taliaferro, and Michelle Smith. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paris.
Thank you.